Good evening, friends. Welcome to part 4 of Jmac Plays Hadean Lands, which is representing hour 7 of this relaxed pace playthrough while I read it aloud as I go. Per last time, we're well into the game, so I am going to skip the explanatory information. Again, I've arranged things into a playlist. You can go back to the earlier videos and look at a couple of slideshows I have in front of the first couple of videos. If you'd like more information about the game, the one-sentence summary of that is go to hadeanlands.com. It is a classical text adventure game by Andrew Plotkin. And where were we last? So basically, let me bring up the map view. Oh, this is scrolled weird. Excuse me. Let's see how much of this I can squeeze into the screen right now. I am using a slightly different display setup than last time, so going to have to think on my feet a bit. There we are, in front of that lovely NASA lunar photograph in the background.
You're sharing the. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay. I'm looking at two different things. I'm looking at two different windows and I was confused. Now I see the map.
And I'd also like to offer a welcome to my co-host today is Andrew Plotkin, the author of this game, who kindly agreed to / insisted upon joining me for another episode. Was not able to join us last time. So where are we now? And I think because Zarf wasn't here last time, and I said, well, I'll just recap at the beginning of the show. Essentially, here we are. Here's the map of the layout as it says in the legend, the layout of His Majesty's Marcher, the Unanswerable Resort. We have explored most of it by now. We spent the first, I'd say, hour or hour plus of the 2 hours of our last session just walking around the new sections that we unlocked, the session before that. We didn't really do a whole lot in terms of puzzle solving. We took a couple. We figured out how to make a breath holding potion. We took a swim. We walked into a fire, but we didn't do much as far as unlocking doors. We did get into the observatory, which is a small puzzle, but that's about it. So now we have most of the ship unlocked as far as rooms. But there's lots and lots of locked doors and locked cabinets and hallways that are either on fire or haunted or both. And we are now at the part of the game where we have to get serious about cracking some of these locks. So before starting play, any comments on that, Zarf? Is that a good summary? Do you have any more questions about our current game status?
Sounds like a good summary. No, just go for it.
I'm going to go for it. So I was gathering my notes before starting about, okay, here's a list of everything that we're locked out of. And I'm going to go back to the game screen here. The things that, basically, the three things I want to try. I want to play with the molds. So we found some molds in the captain's quarter. We're very naughty, and we walked right into the captain's quarters last time and found molds with which we can cast keys to go into places we shouldn't. So those are worth playing with. The hallway to the medical wing is haunted by something gnarly. And we need to do some alchemy in order to sneak past that without getting our face eaten. And there's also a toy, which is, as I wrote in my notes, the ocular thing, which helps you to find that which is hidden. And those are the things. So I would like to go to, let's see, so many screens, my friends. I want to go to the notes. Okay. Rituals. And let's start seeing if we can make some of these things. So the Resident Oculus creation, that's the thing. That is the toy I wish to make. So let's look at these ingredients and see if we have the stuff that we need, the materials and or knowledge to put this thing together. Because if we can, it's worth doing. And again, I'm speaking from the standpoint of like I've gotten about 3/4 of the way through the game's beta, so I did get up to doing this, but I don't remember quite how it works. To create a resonant oculus, an exceptional tool for observing unseen influences. There you go. Prepare an environment with lunar influences. I believe we have some lunar symbology in our inventory, so I think I'm going to check mark that. We do have access to a Gestalt shelf. It shouldn't smell like anything, so exclude contaminating aromas. Place a glass loop within the bound and begin with a simple sealing. Interesting. So we do have, now maybe planetary lens is what I'm thinking of. I'm not sure that we have a glass loop. So if I say go to loop. Oh, okay. All right. Yes, we have seen the glass loop before. Because as we see, this is a unusual thing about this game. If you've seen an object before, the eidetic memory of Ensign Forsyth will take you straight there. And here we are in the mechanical lab, which is apparently where they last saw the glass loop. I'm going to trust that it's here somewhere. Oh, it looks like a circle of fine glass thread. Let's pick that up. No, not the loop. And the reason it's saying my fingers are tingling, that is because one of the last things we did in our last playthrough was drink a fire-resistant potion and then walked into a flaming corridor. And your fingers, the feeling of your blood returning to your fingers is your warning that that's running out. We are no longer standing in the middle of a howling inferno, so that is not a concern at this time. Let's take a closer look at that loop. It's a circular thread of clear glass. It's about 1 inch across. The sort of glass loop can be used as the basis for various optical viewing devices. Cool. Okay, so it is not a hula hoop sized loop, which is what I keep thinking. I think the first time I was playing this, I was thinking of something the size of a frisbee, but it's more meant to be. Zarf, were you thinking that this is something like that the player is like pinching like in front on their face like a monocle, or are they holding it up like opera glasses?
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I'm actually thinking there's a couple of lenses in the game already, and they're all like 1 inch across. And this is specifically because I had a little glass lens in my box of toys when I was a kid, which is that size, and you could peer through it. So it's a good size for running around peering through.
Excellent. I agree. Well, let's get on that then. Hey, we found a glass loop. Let's get back to, I want to take another look at our recipe. Yeah, I think we have all this. Let's make sure that we have a resonant tone, although that sounds familiar. Yeah, we have the resonant tone. It is a particular pitch that resonates with the structure of matter. It allows substances to be tuned for various vibrational effects. I had a fear that it would say, and you need a chime of this kind, but nothing of that sort is called for. So I am going to go ahead and say, all right, now we need to, I think the only other special thing we need is a lunar influence. This is, okay. See, I thought, what is the planetary lens? I thought, so here's my imperfect memory about this game kicking in, because I was conflating the planetary lens with the Oculus. Because we have those two lenses too that are hanging out in the optical lab, but those are different. I'm going to read this description just to refresh my own memory. To create a planetary lens, which reveals symbolic associations of the celestial sphere. Interesting. This is me thinking because we were just in the observatory, which has a calculator in it, which has something to do with mapping views unto the universe with Greek letters. I don't know if that's connected, but let's keep reading. This will require 2 glass lenses of matching curvature, which we do have somewhere. Prepare an environment with lunar influences. Check. Ensuring that the atmosphere is free of aromas. Sure. Place 1 lens within the bound. Invoke a simple sealing. Followed by a word of essential nature. Let 1 drop of Java spirit upon the lens, and place the other lens atop it. The binding of the celestial sphere will fuse the lenses and empower them. Do we have the binding of the celestial sphere? We do. And I think that's something we, in fact, picked up last time. I think that was lying around in the exoscape. Zarf, last week there was a lot of chat about the origin of Scaife, and I think that it means bowl. Where did that word come from?
I didn't actually go down to roots. I just looked at Bathyscaphe
How
and
is
said,
it
well, Bathyscaphe.
how is it bathyscaphe?
Bathyscaphe, exoscaphe.
How is that
I
different
just
from a bathysphere? Because or are these synonyms?
that's a good question. They're synonyms, and I don't remember offhand. Let me look it up.
Well, you do that. you go back in time and do research on your own game while I do some alchemy and actually play your game. I think we have all this stuff, so we can just do a bunch of rituals and build some things. That seems good. Let's do some crafting. So we need to be, well, first things first, we need to be somewhere with a Gestalt shelf that is not stinky. I think I've been using I'm going to turn these map labels back on. Yeah, I've been using the optics lab for that. Though I think the mechanical lab might actually work well. And here we are inside of it. So let's take one step over to the left. Excuse me, to the west. Is there a shelf here? No, there's not. Okay, you know what? Never mind. We're going to go to the optics lab after all. And now we're going to the south. And again, if you're joining us partway through this playthrough, we've been to all these areas before. I am not rereading all of these room descriptions, and I'm also completely ignoring all this stuff lying around everywhere because the way this game works, your character is, for lack of a better term, in a time loop, and everything they've picked up gets put back down again every time you reset, and therefore it is of little interest to us until suddenly it is again. I do believe there's a shelf here that we can play with. Okay, good. So it has, and apparently we used it earlier before in this playthrough because it has stuff all over it, so we need to clear that off. I like that verisimilitude. So I remember for lunar influences, there's like a coin with a moon on it, and also a like a spinny card, which I've already forgotten the word of.
The infotator, yeah.
Yeah, the anti-piracy device. So if I say examine moon, do I have anything moony in my possession? No. What if I am cheeky and I say go to moon? What's it going to do? That'll do. I'll take that. Okay, zap right over there, get the coin. And if we look at the coin, I do believe it has a crude grinning moon face. That is enough. The other seems to be a fish. Okay, so we will have a fishy lunar interface. Influence, I think that's good enough. The recipe did say it ought to be aroma free, but I do not think this fish stinks, so I think we'll be safe. Oops, need a little preposition in there, folks. All right, so take another look at the shelf. We're going to clean off the pattern. We're going to clean off the wood. All right. Cool. It is empty. Okay. All right, the wood was on the pattern. That makes sense. Let's go over to our recipe again. Let's start with the Oculus. Lunar influences. Okay. Gestalt shelf. Place any lunar symbol. It's being very that's fine. Okay, put very generous with that. Very nice. Okay, it doesn't smell like anything good. Now the work begins. Put the loop in the bound. Aha. And invoke the simple ceiling. The arc begins to glow silver, as it should. Things are lunar right now around the glass loop. That suggestion of moonly color is good. We're going in the right direction. Now let's vocalize resonant tone. You hum the resonant tone. The glass loop vibrates sharply in response. Cool. Now what? I'm not off book with this ritual. I'm just reading off the paper here. Oh, it's tuned in the Celtic mode. I'm just going to trust you that that's sure it's a Celtic mode, and vocalize counterbalance. Well, we got some text. You speak the syllable of counterbalance. Aetheric forces eddy around the room and then swirl in around the silver bound. The glass loop hums, responding to the vibration you imparted. The aetheric vortex tightens until with a silver flash it is absorbed into the loop. The glass has acquired the subtle pearly sheen of a working oculus. Okay. Good. We have a thing. And now, even if we need to do a reset, we can just type make oculus and all this will happen. Let's check out our new toy. The oculus is a circular thread of glass about an inch across with a pearly sheen. Zarf, are we meant to imagine here that this is actually just an empty loop, but an empty like O-shaped loop of glass, but there's a strange sheen in the space inside?
Sorry, I was muted. I feel like it's saying it's just the glass, like just the glass itself.
Yeah.
But it's there's room for ambiguity here.
I'm going to touch the oculus. You feel nothing. Okay. I want to see if I could smudge it. And then in out of character square brackets, the game says, "Psst, buddy, look at something through Oculus." Do I want to be a smartass and look at the Oculus through the Oculus? No, let's not start there. I'm just looking at a random thing in my inventory. When viewed through the Oculus, the ephemeris billet displays an orderly nature. Okay, so that is hinting that you can look at things and see what nature of nature they have. What will the elemental wood look like? When viewed through the Oculus, the splinter of elemental wood displays a fiery nature. That's not what I expected. Odd. You notice a spark in the Oculus, as if it were reflecting some light not present. Oh, really? Examine spark. You can't see any such spark. Well, what if I look at spark through the Oculus? Smart guy. Having some trouble. My fingers are slower than my brain tonight. Wait, there's something else. It wasn't visible to the naked eye, but the Oculus reveals a cyan spark floating in the air. Okay, getting more detail about that. Zounds, you focus on the cyan spark through the Oculus. It's just a point of light, but a memory obtrudes. It's an alchemical lesson, but not one you ever attended. Perhaps not in any classroom or laboratory you've ever seen. The details are unclear, and yet the lesson is vivid in your mind. The text being read describes an alchemical tool. To create Lavelle's lodestone to locate elementally pure substances, prepare a lunar environment but with a contaminating aroma. This may require additional lunar symbology to outweigh the contamination. Place a silver thread within the bound and apply a simple sealing. Speak a word of essential nature. Remove the aroma from the atmosphere. Invoke a minor animus. When held and swung, this invaluable lodestone will direct itself towards a nearby source of pure elemental substance. You consider these memories, including the minor animus. By consider, it means they are now thwacked into our formulas window for the rest of time. Well, that's good. And that immediately brings to mind the paper maze that clearly, paper maze and maybe one other, like the earthen cracks, which was also maze-like and really was just one room. It was like, yeah, you're lost. Yeah, you're still lost. Okay, you give up and leave because you have no way to navigate. And this is now giving us a way to navigate. So yeah, stick a pin in that. In fact, I'm going to take a note that we want to craft that. Craft the, what did we call it? Lodestone. Nice. I just want to try it. You can't inspect the resonant oculus with itself, silly. Okay, good. Thank you for catching that. All right. So back to things we can make. There was the, where is it? More windows. Planetary lens. And I think we have all these things. So where are those lenses? Actually, it should be right around here because we are in the optical lab after all. Yeah, there they are, right here, right at our very feet. Let us pick them up. We need to, actually, I was about to say we need to clean up the shelf, but I don't think we do because this also requires a lunar influence. So we already got that going. Free of aromas, already there. Place a lens within the bound and invoke simple sealing. Okay, I guess we'll start with the concave. Crafting is fun. Invoke simple. Glowing silver again. This ritual so far is almost identical to the previous, so the colors are the same, the influences are the same. Now we need to invoke essential nature. The glassy nature of the lens rises to the surface. I should hope so. Oh, shoot. Nope, we didn't get all of our ingredients, so we have to pull the brakes on this one. The ritual energy disperses when you turn your attention from it. The tabletop bound goes dark behind you. That's fine. We found the flask of Lubanja, which we last saw, I think, all the way back in our very first play session because it's in one of the initial areas of the game. Let's go back to optics and try this again. No harm, no foul. Okay, the lens is still in the bound, so let's just reseal it. Let me reread my recipe to make sure I'm not... Yeah, okay. It's the only other physical thing I needed. Then I think just going to up arrow to invoke essential. And now we need to pour Java on... Which one did we put on there? The concave? I have to scroll up to remind myself. Oh my. Concave, okay. You place a drop of Lubanja onto the concave glass lens. It spreads into a fine film across the surface. It's rainbows. And then glue the other one right on top of it. So put convex on concave. The silver light ripples as you push through the arc. You place the convex glass lens against the concave glass lens. The curved surfaces adhere on their delicate film of solvent. And now we say Alakazam, which is to say we will bind it with the celestial sphere. So, and first time for this. Exciting. And can we just say binding? Which do you mean? Now we have too many bindings. You begin invoking the binding of the celestial sphere. The sounds seem distant and foreign, but you speak them precisely. The lenses glow as if in silver moonlight. When the light fades, the lenses have fused into a single opalescent glass, a planetary association lens. Not that we have any idea what to do with this other than what's in the name and the ritual recipe, which parenthetically says it reveals symbolic associations of the celestial sphere. But I do think that it might have something to do with the observatory. And given fast travel in this game, we might just satisfy my curiosity right off the bat and go mess around with that a bit. Oops. That's not what it's called. Lens. What does it look like now? It's a lens of opalescent glass, about 1.5 inches wide, so also a wee lens. Yes, it is a lens, not to be confused with a oculus. Wearing the thing like a monocle, okay, per my earlier question to the author, might be useful, but more likely you'd walk into a wall. Anyway, there's no way to do it. Well, surely with a bit of practice, but fine. I'll believe you. We will just be carrying them around in my chemical stained fingers for the rest of the game, and that is fine. I want to get some infinite screen effects here. Hang on, can we look at the ones through? The planetary lens shines with insight. Okay. Can we look at things through the lens? Should mess around with that a little bit. When viewed through the lens, the resident oculus is surrounded by faint planetary echoes, but the associations are not strong enough to visualize clearly. Okay. So these are two things that you can... One thing reveals the essential nature of a thing. See, now that I have a toy, I want to just play with it all day long, which is the danger of these sorts of things. Look. Right. Come on, we have to know. Oh, you peer through the oculus at your hand. Your aura is a recurving, symmetrical mesh of fire, water, earth, and air. Lovely, but perplexing. You know from your lectures that human bodies are indeed a balanced meld of the elements, in the Greek model at least. But this pattern is far more intricate than old Lieutenant Schoftig's diagrams. Something about the crash must have affected the oculus's vision. Or yourself. You hope not. Okay. I'm glad I did that. That's cool. And what if you just look through the oculus without aiming it at anything? Because that's what I remember doing. Okay, this is the main thing I remember doing with the Oculus. I totally forgot you could aim it at things, which is obviously important in its own way. You peer through the Oculus, everything acquires a colorful, hazy fringe. You cast around until the Scion Spark comes into view. So a thing to do, my understanding, like a thing I remember very clearly from my first playthrough, is that these sparks are, these are goodies that are hidden around the map. And once you can do this, it's basically on you to march around and look around with in every room and go on a spark hunt, because they contain clues. We've already got some goodies. We learned stuff from the last time we did, and I need to scroll back up because I've already forgotten. Oh yeah, that was the lodestone. So there's more stuff literally hidden in the air, or actually not the air, just the influence, the ether. The in-between that we can learn, we can pull out by way of the Oculus. So it's time, while we resume our explorations, we need to keep that in mind. But for now, I want to go to the observatory. I'm already, this possible solution is already falling apart in my head, but I just want to get it out of the way regarding planetary concordances and such. Yoink, here we are. So the problem, I need to remind myself what was going on here. So there is this calculator. You know what? I don't think this is going to do what I thought. I was thinking, oh yeah, you need to use the lens in order to figure out like what Greek letters go with what planets that you're looking on outside, but that's no. This is useful for a future thing when it says like you need a Jovian influence, and you're like, okay, what? And I think you can go on a hunt for it that way. But just to satisfy my curiosity. So if we look at the, I don't know what dial. Okay, so if we Windows. Oh dear. You look up at the dome through the lens, then you look away, blinking away a terrible headache. Too many planets. Do not look at entire universe through the magical information gathering device. Makes sense. And when viewed through the lens, the dial is surrounded by faint planetary echoes, but the association is not strong. Yeah, okay. Whatever I was thinking doesn't actually make sense here. So we'll just leave this in our pocket through now. Now, I think what I need to do is keep a separate checklist of all the rooms that we've been in. So I'm just going to open up, or that we've looked through the Oculus about. So I'm just going to start a separate little text file in the background here. And we need to make a little checklist. So we've looked in the alcove. Nothing here. Okay, we've looked in the observatory, or no taking is boring. Let's just march through all the rooms we've been through, and actually, before we do this, there's no reason to lawnmower the entire map right now. We have plenty of other more interesting leads to chase. So wait, I see Windrunner in the chat is saying you can recall rooms and it will tell you what rooms you've missed with the Oculus. Really? I didn't know that. Zarf, was that it in from the beginning? Because I have no memory of this at all from the beta.
No, that was, I'm pretty sure that was added by the request of users, but I can't remember if it was in the first public release or the second public release.
I also completely, because I've been spoiled by the Steam release with the separate windows, I have not used the recall command at all, which you lean on very hard when you're playing it only in a text interpreter. So I completely forgot about the existence of this command at all. This may be the first time I've even run recall. So recall rooms tells you, since the accident, lol, you have visited these notable locations. Then blarp, here's every inform style, every Infocom style room we've been to since we started. I think it's funny that Junior Quarters doesn't have the, but it works either way. And okay, oh, it doesn't. Are we sure that it says rooms you've missed with the Oculus? Because it doesn't say here.
I don't remember exactly how it was implemented. It only does it after you've maybe done it a few times or something.
Yeah, that may be the case. It didn't actually prompt me. I will be patient, and yeah, as Windrunner saying, they played it in Electrote, and that is how I played it too back in the days. Actually, no, I played it before you even wrote Electrote, so I played it using some other thing.
Gargoyle, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm all confused. Where are we? We're still in the paper garden. We don't have a lodestone, so there's no maze. Let's go to our... So the other things I wanted to try, we're playing with the molds, getting past the ghost. We've made the ocular thing, so I can cross that off my list. That's cool. Right, so there's one door that is locked against our aura, and then there is a hallway that is just haunted, and we need to protect ourselves. And these are two separate problems that require two separate rituals. So let's take another look at our non-recall ritualist. I am a ritualist, and I have a ritual list. Oh, the days when we were so concerned with cleaning tarnish. It seems like so long ago now. Oh, here they are, conveniently alphabetically first, because they both involve aura. There's the aura imitation inscription, which is, yes, I'm actually Lieutenant so-and-so, wink wink. And then there's aura impermeability inscription, which is to get past naughty things. Let me read this one first. Invoke environment of spiritual peace. Begin with a quartz. Okay, this involves a lot of stuff. Quartz token. I'm pretty sure we have that somewhere. Invoke the Ka ceiling. Do we have a Ka ceiling? Oh, no, we don't. And I remember I was complaining last time that we didn't have that. And we continue to not have that. Missing Ka. Oot. Just to make sure if I can I try to speak the Ka ceiling? And it says, no, you do not know that. Okay, so we cannot do that right now. What about the other one? This effect is similar to Ulka's inscription. Construct a meditative environment based on the Book of Changes. One should use the central ritual bound of the house. Okay, this one requires us to get into the... interesting. So there's looking at our map, there's a bound in the nave and one in the chancel. We have not been able to get to the chancel, but we can get to the nave. I'm not sure which of those is central. I would actually guess the nave, so we might be okay with that. Place beads of iron and jade in the bound. Speak a simple ceiling. Place burning wood. Name of the tortoise. Oh, come on. And I don't think we have elemental air, and I don't think we have name of the tortoise. That sounds very... I'm curious what the tortoise's name is. Okay, so the aura things are not available to us right now, and I will mark in my notes that we're missing ingredients for that. That leaves the molds as stuff because there's multiple things locked away from us. Oh, fine. Well, they're all in the same place, buddy. Okay, it's a thumb-sized clay disc with a reverse impression of a Marcher medical file badge. Okay. Which implies that... Okay. So I actually don't remember the solution to this, and I'm wondering, how could this work? I think we have access to a badge, and I wonder if you can melt it down and just reshape the material using one of these molds, if it's as simple as that. Get the molds, that's correct. That's exactly what I meant. Okay, it's made of rutulum. Right, and just looking at my own notes. So this is an alchemy file seal. And again, so something one thing that happened in my replay of this game last week, Zarv, was I only figured out that all these references to files are ranks within the Navy. That's correct, comma, right?
Well, they're not ranks. It's the opposite. It's like there's ranks and files, and you have a rank and you're in a file. It's more like departments or wings.
Okay, that makes more sense because yes, we're an ensign this whole time, and there's captains and lieutenants and everything else. But okay, so file. Yeah, I mean the. I got the reference to rank and file, but I cannot recall in literature or elsewhere running into the use of the word file this way. Like, is it?
I think I came up with that.
Okay, I got it. It's cool. Anyway, I'm going to try my theory. So let's get that badge. Because we do have the ability to stuff things into an oven and not burn our hands at this point. So let's try. Can we mess around a little bit here? Examining the badge, which I might have not even bothered doing before. This is a seal of silvery bright rutulum, cast with the insignia of the alchemy file. High-ranking alchemy officers carry such badges. Someday you will be granted one, but right now, this one will be awfully handy. So I think we've used it once to unlock something somewhere. By my own notes, there is an Aethery locked cabinet, and there is a Venture locked door that we need to get into. And if I look in our inventory, We do, in fact, we do not have an A3 mold, but we do have a venture mold. And if I say golden mold, does it offer to take us to an A31? No, it does not. So we have not seen such a thing. But we can try to do this. So if I say put, even though I'm not in the right room to really do this, put badge in venture mold. Okay, it's implying that we're on the right track, but you're not just going to bash them together in air. So let's actually go to the room I'm thinking of using, which is, yes, the Pyrex lab, because that's where the oven is. Again, with the need for prepositions. All right. This is where there is a massive brick kiln. And I think we still have the billet. I don't, that's not the billet. What was I thinking of? The patent. I'm not sure we need that because the, well, let's what are we doing? What am I doing? Let's brew a fire potion. Okay. I ran out of there and I need to go back to the Pyrex lab. All right. So what are we doing, friends? We could try to, let's just do this barehanded and see what the game has to say. Venture mold in kiln. You push the venture file clay mold into the kiln's heat, but you have to yank your hand away instantly. Okay, that was kinder than I thought it would be. So if we examine the kiln, we should indeed see that within its fury, you see a venture file clay mold. So now if I put the badge that we're holding in the venture mold, do this in the venture mold. Oh dear. You push the Rutulum alchemy file seal into the venture file clay mold amid the heat, but you have to yank your hand away instantly. Rutulum melts at what, 3,000 degrees? The kiln won't do it. Ah, I thought that would do a thing. And, gee. Well, either we need to find a different metal, or a different source of heat. This smells like the right solution, and I'm wondering if we should just use something else. And I want to play with more material now because I'm obsessed. Well, we had that coin earlier. Let's just mess around. So wait, if we go to the coin. We're really messing stuff up now. You push the silver coin onto the venture file clay mold amid the heat, but you have to yank your hand away instantly. So what does that mold look like now? Resting on the mold are a silver coin and a Rutulum alchemy file seal. Well, it's messed up and covered in different things now, and I don't know what we're doing, so let me drink that potion and get that thing back. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Get that badge back. Let's start over. So get the coin. I'm going to put the coin back on the venture mold again. You slide the silver coin unhurriedly, because the flames no longer bother us, onto the venture file clay mold. So now if we wait, I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't really appear to be doing the thing I hoped it would do. It's not just melting. I don't know anything about materials IRL, so I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. Oh, the potion wore off. Well, okay. Let's drink another potion and just get the coin and see if we got lucky. Oh, nice. We get a little reminder of all the potions that we have accessible to us right now, but we just need fire again. Okay, this did not magically melt down into the file we need. So we either need something super hot. I wonder if well, yeah, what did it say? 3,000 degrees. There's the hallway that's on fire, but I think that's just more fire. And if the kiln didn't work, I'm not sure why that would work. So that doesn't appear to be quite the right solution, unless we can find something that makes the heat even hotter. Anyway, what else can we try? Well, we can also try walking around and looking at stuff. With the thing, we can try crafting that lodestone. What does that lodestone require that we don't have? Speaking of, lodestone. Lunar, yeah. Silver thread, sure. Essential nature. I think we have all this stuff. Well, that's fun. All right. We do some more crafting. Can't hurt. Although we need two lunar symbols. So remember that's that card. Right. Rotor card. Spin. Rotor. Again. There we go. We already have the coin. Oops. I'm not sure we have a silver thread. Uh-oh. We do have a machine that can make thread from rods, but I don't know that we have seen a silver rod. We have lead, platinum, nickel, and moon metal, which is not silver. So I don't think that that is available to us at this time. So we're missing, going to take a note of that. Missing silver thread or rod. If we had one of those penny stretching souvenir things in the game, and we could drop our coin into that and stretch it out into a thread, but I do not think that's available to us. Let's see. The birdhouse door we cannot get into because we cannot disguise our aura. Heavy lead panel and storage nook. Yeah, there's some earlier stuff that is so long ago that I have not been paying a lot of attention to it. So let's take a look at storage nook. Awkward nook. Hatch in the floor, too small for a person. Cover is solid lead. Oh. Okay. So two things here. First of all, cool. Secondly, if you walk into a room and there is a spark to look at, it just tells you. You don't have to say the command to look through the Oculus, and that is nice. I did not remember that, and that's nicer than I recall. How are we doing this? Look at spark. Actually, I wonder if you can X spark just to get the color. Sparl. No. Magenta. You focus on the magenta spark through the Oculus. It's just a point of light, but once again, a memory becomes clear in your mind, a lesson you've never attended. The text being read describes an alchemical tool, dispersal brush. This is something I wanted earlier. Good. Excuse me. Conjured alchemical symbols, yes, generally fade after use. However, it is sometimes necessary to erase such a symbol directly. Touching the item with a dispersal brush accomplishes this. To create such a tool, place a feather quill, got it, within a bound in a neutral environment. Begin with a simple sealing. Sprinkle alcohol spirits on the quill. Conclude with a word of culmination. You consider these memories. Ooh, do we have these things? I just like to speak words. You invoke the word of culmination. Nothing happens. Nothing. Not yet. What's the other thing we need? Do we have go to alcohol? Oh boy, alcohol. Gimme. I'm going to make this thing and I know just what to do with it. Neum. Oops. Neum. There we go. In my brush, it said a feather quill. I wonder if just a feather will do. Let's find out, shall we? Well, that's going to be in our special window for this. So, dispersal brush. This is an easy one. Where are we? Optical annex. Yeah, all right. That's empty. Good. Zap. Speak the simple sealing. You take a breath, trace the bound in your mind, and intone the simple sealing word. The arc begins to glow palely around the white feather, because we have no influences at all, so the glow is pale. Sprinkle alcohol. I wonder if the verb sprinkle actually works. Let's try it. You carefully drip. It does work, thank you. You carefully drip, rubbing alcohol onto the white feather. The quill absorbs the liquid without darkening. Okay. So yeah, it's just soaking in, but it does not look wet. So we know things are still strange. Which is how we like it. And then culminate. Things are uncanny is what I meant to say. You declaim the word of culmination. It falls solidly into place. The bound flares and then darkens. The feather ruffles in an unfelt breeze and takes on a subtle sheen. Oh, so many sheens we're making today. It is simpler than the dispersal tools you've used in class, but it should be effective. The brush is a white feather with an icy sheen. And now we are going straight. I told you I did review my notes at this time, which I did not do last time. And that is why we have hightailed it right to the captain's quarters. Why look, it is another cabinet, which has no seal or keyhole, but an alchemical symbol shining on the cover. What if I touch... You brush the quill over the rutulum cabinet. The attraction symbol blares and fades away. Blurs. It doesn't blare. It doesn't go honk. Yes, it was a goose feather, so when you touch it to an alchemical symbol, it honks like a goose. It presses Y to honk. I'm being silly now. Did this actually work? I mean, we're just erasing things from the world, but that doesn't actually tell us that we can open the cabinet, so... It worked! We have an ornate sheet. Give it to me. The paper contains an electrum... What? The electrum phlogistication and the electrum substitution, both of which you already know. You pick up the sheet just in case. I didn't expect that to happen.
No, that's the shiny sheet. You want the ornate sheet.
Oh.
Two different sheets.
Yeah. Well, why did the interpreter do that? Because one was inside of a thing and the other... Huh. Okay. That's fair. Yeah, when playing interactive fiction, it's good to have the author joining you on a Zoom call for the entire time. No, I should say it's also,
Well, you would have gotten it eventually.
as the reader, it's also good to pay attention and read the text that is displayed to you, which in this case, it actually says the shiny sheet and parenthetical. There we go. That's what I want. This receipt is not Navy printing. It's handwritten, not neatly, perhaps in haste, and it reads like a bad joke. The Great Marriage. And there you stop for a moment because half the alchemical rituals of antiquity are bombastically called the Great Marriage, and it means nothing more than I mixed things. But that's what it says. Must be performed at the heart of the house in an orderly environment. Scribbled with an arrow. Knave? Employ the marcher's invocation to seal an empty bound. Add a signifier of the marcher's location to the gestalt. Waft a resinous note. Now add the 4 elements to the bound and invoke the dragon. Great Marriage? Classical Greek elements thrown into an ark like beans in a soup? This isn't modern alchemical science, it's a fairy tale. It doesn't even say what it does. No, wait, there's something scrawled in the back. The homunculus. Oh, sure, that clears everything up. You memorize the instructions, including the marcher's sealing. You also add the sheet to your bundle of paper. Fun. Okay. Yeah, this seems very Ultimate Questy, as silly as it is. So I note. Let's see how far we are into this. From the top, heart of the house. Yeah, we have access to the nave. Marcher's invocation. Apparently, we just got that. The marcher's sealing creates a boundary circle. You recall it from the great rituals that launch the retort and bring it home. So that is the invocation to make ship go. It's a big one. And then you add a signifier of the marcher's location to the gestalt. I know what that is. That is the printout from the calculator if we ever figure out how to make it work, which we don't. So something to do later. Waft a resinous note. That is the rosemary from way back in the beginning. That's a fun full circle. Now add the 4 elements to the bound and invoke the dragon. We certainly don't know how to invoke any dragons, and we are missing at least 1 element. I know that we found water and we found wood, which is not one of the 4 elements, unless wood counts as earth. We have the ability to make elemental fire, except we don't. And no idea where elemental air is, though I bet the lodestone will help with that. Anyway, yeah, so that is a soup of... This does not help us right away, is what I'm getting at, although it is clearly information we'll need later. So I'm just going to mark that off with a check. We got that. Let's see, attraction. So anyway, we can erase symbols now, and I think we could try erasing those like weird black graffiti marks. I think something weird happens if you do that. I think there may be some nearby. What else do we have? There's I'm just looking back at my list of things we're locked out of. There's the tarnished cabinet in the medical wing, which again, like we can open tarnished things, sort of. It's been a while. Might try our old tricks on that. 2 things that are locked with cords that require elemental fire that we can't make because we're missing the... What is it? Not the Ka. Oh no, we need yang oil. We don't have yang oil. The birdhouse door is locked against our aura, and we need something for that. And the 2 other doors are, or the one other, the deep stacks need a venture file key, and we don't know how to melt something into a venture key. Interesting. We could just try different materials in that mold. Yeah, I'm not done playing with that mold yet. So just stick a pin in that. And there's also just walking around and seeing what gets reflected in our thingy. What if we crawl rooms now? Okay. Where are we? High tower. It's at this point where I do want to sort of just walk around. Yeah, that's locked. Now that I know you can just walk around and see if you see sparks or not. I'm just going to manually mosey around. Oh, there we go. Okay. We are now in the study room. You focus on the apricot spark through the oculus. A new memory comes into... Oh, yeah. Sorry, I read ahead and I got excited. A new memory comes into focus. It contains a formula. The Ka sealing word creates a boundary circle. It is derived from the classical Egyptian analytical model of the human mind or spirit. You consider these memories, including the Ka sealing. What did we need that for? We needed that to get past the ghost. Okay, so I'm going to combine our two quests here, and I'm going to calmly walk over to a place that has a ritual bound so that we can do the thing. And I'm going to type into the correct window when doing it. And see if we pick up any other things. Okay, so that's the whole Northwest Marcher accounted for. Let's walk through all these things. The brass cube. Oh, the door's locked. Okay. Oh, we're inside of the exoscape. Okay. Nothing in there. Where is a... Oh yeah, let's touch the marks with the feather. I think this is weird. I think this is creepy if I recall correctly. Come on. No. Typing. The moment the feather touches the markings, it crackles and... Yay. It crackles and falls to dust. Whoops. The markings are entirely unaffected. That's not the thing I remembered happening, but I'm glad it did. Look up there. Check out the portico. Everything seems pretty good. All right. Here we are. We're in the nave. There's a bound here. How do we do the thing? Let's look at our recipe sheet again. Back for the aura impermeability. Quartz token in the bound. Okay, I'm going to, whoops. Pretty sure we've seen something quartz, right? Either of those will work. Okay. That is not the right one. Lost my page. There we go. We have orichalcum somewhere. Orichalcum. Oh no. Really? Copy and paste this. Make sure I didn't spell it wrong. Oh, I was sure that we saw some. Oh well. 2 steps forward and all that. Update my notes then. That's where I'm missing orichalcum. All right, not quite there yet. But speaking of the medical wing, I did want to look at that cabinet, didn't I? Let's go there anyway, and let's take the long way. For the reasons that we have been doing that. Can we go north? Yeah, all right. Disquieting menace, yes, okay. The cabinet is filthy. Unnameable substances have leaked out at the seams and dribble over the hinges. Okay, so it's been a while since I tried to... Yeah, it's Guck. Been a while since we tried to clean anything, so let me really dig deep into our... we have a universal tarnish. Okay, basic tarnish, steel token, remove the Russian steel. To prepare a token that will work on any corroded metal, one must prepare a catalytic environment rather than a fiery one. Simply place a... Okay. Right. Well, we still have the Java Spirit. We need a steel token. We still have the bolter, right? You need that to get out of the... No? Okay. Get that bolt. Get that bolt. I forgot how to make a catalytic environment. Man, gotta go way back for this. It's one of the lectures on aromas, right? Oh, catalytic environment. Here we go. Platinum wire. It's been a while. All right. Oh, it's pre-wired platinum. That's come on. Come on. There we go. We now have platinum wire. Man, where are we? Mechanical lab. Right, so put platinum inbound. That's what I want to do. That is absolutely what I want to do. No question. Put token in there. Glowing green. That is catalysis color. I'm willing to believe that. Recite categorical. Pour. Not reading this because we did this way back in the first play session, I think. On bolt. And because we did, I don't need to be doing this step by step. It now occurs to me, but I'm choosing to do. Yeah, I've come this far. Because I love to type phlogistical. That's the only reason to do it. In fact, I'm going to type out the whole thing. Okay. Universal saturation. Let's see if this actually does anything. That's not what it's called. Let's look at our labels again. Oh yeah, we cannot go to the medical wing. We can only go to the hallway outside of it. So, whoopsie. I don't. Fine, we'll just walk like a punter. There, we're here. Let me reread the directions for this again. I think you just touch the thing to the thing. Let's look at that gunk. It's filthy. So we have a bolt. Did we pick up the bolt? No, we didn't pick up the bolt. Haha. Okay. Great. Cool. Awesome. Listen, you. Touch. Gunk. Womp womp. You carefully lay the universal saturation symbol against the cabinet. The symbol discharges, but the cabinet doesn't get any cleaner. The metal is covered with gunk, not corroded. Well, I thought maybe it was corroded with gunk. Or corroded with gunk. Or gunked with corrosion. These things go hand in hand. Very well. So, can I just ask you now, gunk isn't fungus, right?
No, it's not.
Okay. I need a gunk aside. Cool. All right. Well, it wasn't that. Wasn't that, Chief? It was worth a try. I regret nothing. I want to say this is how we play these games. We try things. The game is like, yes, I acknowledge your attempt. It is not correct, but I acknowledge it. I see what you tried to do, and it didn't work. Veridigree. What is it even this? I have these like rituals. I haven't even... Lower alka... Oh. What? Lower oxide of orichalcum. But you need to... No, see, I thought maybe that would make orichalcum, but you need orichalcum to make it, so that's kind of a drawing hand situation, if true, so that's not what we're doing. Let's look at all these other rituals we haven't done yet. Sublime Spirit Synthesis, Mineral Oil Essence. I don't know why I want that. Lodestone we haven't done. Great Marriage is the endgame thing. Crazy. Absolutely, I've never done that. That's fun. That we need some silver for, which we don't have. That we need yang oil for, which we don't have. I'm looking at everything marked with a star. Things marked with a star are things we have not done yet. Okay, and then these two, which we cannot do for a number of reasons. All right, so we're now back to...
Actually,
yes?
type go to silver thread. Just to amuse me. Not just to amuse me. I'm lying. Just to it doesn't. Okay. I thought you might have come across one, but I guess not.
Yeah. Not a silver thread. If you're in the room, if you're, do you have to examine something or pick it up in order for the game to say like, yes, you know where this is, or is it possible to like run through a room without? Because I wouldn't put it past me.
I think once you've seen it, it's legitimate.
Yeah.
Well, if you happen to spot one in the future, you know.
I know what to do with it now.
Yeah, there's like Windrunner was commenting that you've got a silver coin and this and that, but the silver coin has not yet been successfully melted or transformed into any other shape.
Yeah, that's why I was muttering earlier about those souvenir things, like you go to the Grand Canyon or wherever, and there are those machines that you can put a penny into, and it'll allegedly it'll claim to stretch your penny out, and those things are in this game, but they strictly take rods as input. Were those inspired by the Grand Canyon machines?
Oh, sure, yeah,
awesome.
Definitely.
I never made the connection until just now. If I just type go to silver, I don't think it goes. Yeah, it just wants the coin. It's like, yeah, that thing, idiot. All right. There's other metals. Like, yeah, I can also try to melt things that, boy, this is funny, but I actually think I have a distinct memory of asking Bathsheba about relative melting points for this puzzle, yes. And I don't know if it was the right direction or not. And I think that there's information in the game you can get about how there's like in-game stuff about melting, or maybe there isn't. I'm going to go to facts, see if there's anything in here about metallurgy. Birdhouse defensives. Yeah. No, we've already done that. Copper calcination. Look at all this stuff. Nice. I don't remember this. I'm just checking these out. We've already done that. We already know about that. Elemental earth. Okay, this is reminding us that there is elemental earth on the ship, and the elemental wood is not the elemental earth. It is different. Aura clouds. Yeah, okay, that's telling us we need to hide our aura in order to get past it, which I already know. I don't know what this is all about. And I don't care at this time. Recursive metaphors are fun. That is to get to the thing with the thing. Right, now it's all the way back at the start of the game. Okay. I was wondering if we could like melt the lead. I just want to mess with that. Camfrost lumps. Nice. Oh, it's right in the Pyrex. How convenient. Anything in the kiln right now? No, because we're in the storage. Anything in the kiln right now? Yep, the file is just sitting there like an idiot. I don't mean to insult the file. Thumb-sized clay disc. So it's small. It is small. It is not large. Also small. So if I put... I'm going to say in just to be... What? Okay. You push the lead rod onto the venture file clay mold amid the heat, but you have to yank your hand away instantly. The lead melts immediately, filling the venture file mold. Okay. Good. Dup-de-doop-de-doop. There are clues in here that I guess the coin wasn't quite the right shape because, yeah, it's round, and this is not round. It is thumb-sized, so I take it to actually be sort of longer, like the rod. So, anyway, here we are. We have liquid. Let's brew another thing. Stop babbling. Okay. Gas burners are right here, boss. One thing I did notice also in the last play session was that the time ticks for, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think I did notice that the time limits for timed effects like potions are about how many moves you, the player, make and not how many moves the character makes. So if you drink a fire potion and you type go to go to somewhere, that just counts for one tick. Is that correct?
Yeah. There's no reason to screw the player without, time resistances like that. Which is there's no way that would be any fun.
I'm going to do it now just to show off, and then race to the Pyrex lab. Yay, progress maybe. You lift the venture file clay mold and blow on the lead until it cools a bit. Then you dump the seal out into your palm. It's perfect. Well, it's a pretty good impression of the venture file badge. Yay, progress. Fine. I take your word for it. What am I supposed to do with this? It's been so long. I forgot what my motivation was. Deep stacks. Deep stacks. I wanted to show off by saying the... Oh, yes, I do. Well, okay, I do, but I haven't been inside of it, so I've only been to the space outside of it. Yes, and demonstrating that the potions last longer if you run. It's now only starting to wear off, even though we just ran a great deal to get here. All right, so walking a little more, and everything is wrong with the gravity. and that's fine. It's not fine, actually. It's very bad, but we got our freaking out over about it done last time. You touch the lead venture file seal to the door, and the lock pops open. A new place for the first time in a long time. Deep stacks. The tomes in these stacks are little regarded treasures, or so the librarians tell you. For certain, though, a marcher never discards a book. The shelves are overstuffed. The room is unfurnished. You see books and nothing beside. The only door is west. However, the south wall is split by a bulging yellow intrusion. You can see a crackly sheet and a moldering sheet here. You catch a spark of light reflected in the oculus from somewhere. Your fingers are no longer tingling. The potion must have worn off. So many things to play with, but let's go from the top as I do. And we have to look at the books. You pick a book at random. The pages are blank. This book is also blank. Blank again. You have no idea what's going on. I think this is the first time we've been to a bookie place with blank books as opposed to books with gobbledygook or other non-helpful information. Apparently every book in this chamber is blank. This book is also blank. Okay, so deep stacks not working too good as far as its intended purpose. Let's take another look around. X shelves is the same as X book. That is fine. This is an intrusion. That doesn't sound good. A bulbous yellow outcrop bulges in through a crevice in the south wall. The growth looks more like undersea coral than anything else, but it must have originated in some other world, perhaps a Hadean land. You notice something poking out from underneath the outcrop, the corner of a bit of paper trapped between the coral and the floor. So I think I remember. Yeah, that's the thing. The yellow outcrop is stiff to the touch. The coral outcrop acquires a colorful fringe when viewed through the oculus, but its symbolic associations are not strong enough to visualize clearly. Fun. Okay. Did I view myself through the lens? I like to look at myself. I did through the oculus, but not the lens. You peer at your hand through the lens. Okay, that's not what you looked like the last time you played with this sort of lens. The human body is Gaian, or it should be. You don't recognize these associations at all. Something about the crash must have affected the lens's vision, just like the resonant oculus. Maybe it is you after all. Uh-oh. All right. More things to do here. There's a spark. Spark is good. And I'm glad we made that lens before coming in here, or that would have been disappointing. Although maybe we had to have... No, we could have totally come here before making the lens, in which case there would have been nothing here except for the coral, which maybe we can do something with later. My point is, there's an indigo spark. You focus on the indigo spark through the oculus. A new memory comes into focus. Laughing at the name here. It concerns the synthesis of an alchemical compound. The synthesis of Jackson mud. A perfect balance of elemental earth and water. Begin with a medium of simple sand and the hermetic sealing. Invoke the crystalline tempering. Add one of the pure elements to the retort and speak the word of intention. Then add the other and speak the word of emulgence. You consider these memories. So this is another Kickstarter backer joke. And I know who the backer is. It is Kevin Jackson Mead, our good friend. And I think, fair to say, one of the founders, if not the original founder of the Boston IF group back in the late aughts, from whence so many good things came, including this game, arguably. So it's good to see Kevin repped here, and as mud, but magical mud. So I think I have these words. Not that I have any reason to make magical mud right now, but let's check our inventory. We have emulgence and intention. Yeah, the emulgence we found taking a swim last time, and intention I have no notion of where we got that, but we do. So there. Do we have crystal and tempering? No, we do not. So we need to temper some crystals before we can make Kevin Jackson mud. Oh, excuse me. Hang on 1 second. Hello. Okay, sounding a little buzzy right there. Yeah, neat. So the coral is, I have a theory, and that is I want to reuse a ritual that we already have. Coral is not fungus, but I want to throw some fungicide on it anyway. I definitely remember trying this. I don't remember if it worked or not. Now we should be able to go to the deep stacks because we've been inside of it. Oh, and there's sheets we haven't read yet too. Okay, well, whatever, we're doing this. You carefully drip the fungicide over the coral outcrop. Purple fumes billow up, but the coral doesn't seem to be affected. It must not be related to the fungi you know. The fungi I know. Let me tell you a story. No. All right, well, that seems fair. Let's do this. Crackly sheet. It is a reagent receipt. The synthesis of bamuriatic acid. This substance is similar to muriatic acid, but even more corrosive and toxic. Exercise caution. Prepare your retort with the mineral fluorspar in a bath of vitriol. Invoke the sealing. Heat until the crystal has entirely dissolved. Discontinue the heat. Add saline solution, but be sure to first use a word of intention to prevent a premature reaction. Once combined, a word of culmination will allow the reaction to complete in a controlled manner. You memorize the instructions, add the sheet to your paper. Moldering sheet. The paper describes two mathematical structures, a symmetric sequence and an anti-symmetric sequence. And now we have some sequences. I want to check those out. Now that I know the recall verb, the symmetric sequence is a mathematical structure which is the same back to front. And this one? Why, the anti-symmetric sequence is a mathematical structure which is upside down back to front. Okay, well, those will be useful later, I'm sure. Tell me more of this bamuriatic acid. Excuse me, muriatic acid. Do we have muriatic acid? No, we can just skip right over it and go to the good stuff. Synthesis. Yeah. Look at my stuff. Okay. Do we have things to make this? Do we have fluorspar? I'm never going to spell this correctly. Fluorspar. Yep. Okay, we have that. Just gonna copy that. Do we have vitriol? Yep. Underward. I don't even remember where that is. Where are we? Oh. No memories of this at all. Fair. All right. Fluorspar and vitriol. Then we do stuff. Saline we certainly have. Great. Let's make some extremely dangerous acid. That sounds like a thing we absolutely want to do because it's so useful. Go to Chemic Lab. It's been a while since we made a potion. These are fun. I like playing with the big retort. Lots of things here. All right. Bring up our recipe here. Exercise caution. Yeah, whatever. Get to the stuff. Mineral fluorspar on the bath of vitriol. So first we pour vitriol into the retort. You can't see any such thing. So as I've said, there's going to be a lot of spelling mistakes here. I'm going to start over with this word from the beginning. V-I-T-R. Vitriol. Use it in a sentence. You pour a measure of vitriolic acid into the retort. Yes, now I want to put the equally hard to spell fluorspar into the retort. Plop, you put the fluorspar crystal into the retort. Invoke. Oh, no, we don't invoke the simple sealing. We invoke the other sealing. And there's a sign here, I remember, tells us which one to do. Hermetic sealing. Thank you. Invoke. I have not forgotten everything. You take a breath, trace the bound in your mind, and intone the hermetic sealing. The retort's equator begins to glow pearl gray around the fluorspar crystal and the reservoir of vitriolic acid. All right, this is happening. Heat until the crystal has entirely dissolved. I don't remember the controls in this thing. Is there a burner? Yeah. Twist that knob. You know what? I want to make sure I have the right verbs here. I'm sure there's. So turn on. If turn on works, then turn off will work later. So now we stand here until it is dissolved, and then oh shit, I forgot the saline. I hope there's saline in here. Phew. Okay, that saved us from some embarrassment. Oh, we got to wait until it's dissolved. Then I see. Okay, so I just want to point out that the recipe here says add this, but first do that. Was this
I had to put in at
entirely?
least one of those.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, you didn't trip me up this time. Watch as I do it anyway. But we're going to wait here until this happens, and then I'm going to say it out loud, maybe so prevent me from doing it or make it less likely. First, I will say the word of intention, then I will add in the saline solution. And before doing any of that, I will discontinue the heat. I'm doomed. It's fine. When are we doing this until the crystal's dissolved? The crystal's still there, right? Still there. Yeah, it's a no, that's the quartz. Oh, it's, wait, is the fluorspar gone? I want to make sure it's actually gone. There's dissolved and then there's dissolved. Okay, so there's turn off heat. Boop, boop. Okay. Let's take a look inside here. The retort contains a quantity of amber acid. Rad. Now what? Discontinue the heat. Check. Invoke intention, which we haven't done before. You declaim the word of intention. The world seems to hold its breath. And now dump some salt water in there like a punter. Pour saline into retort. Very carefully. You add a quantity of saline to the retort. The liquids mix, but not entirely. The retort now contains a swirling mixture of amber filaments. Once combined, a word of culmination will allow the reaction to complete in a controlled manner. Well, either this will work or we will blow up the ship. Okay, cool. Culmination. I like this. You declaim the word of culmination. The amber mixture blends together all at once, but there's no boiling, no explosion. Ah. The liquid steams silently away, filling the retort with vapor. When it clears, the solution has been reduced to a few drops of, well, if a clear liquid ever looked malevolent, it's this stuff. You locate a wax-lined vial, tap the muriatic acid into it, and flush the retort. Now we can dissolve all kinds of things. Yeah. Muriatic acid is powerful enough to dissolve stone and corrode glass. You've made only a tiny amount, and it's contained in a wax-coated vial, but you're still wary of it. Okay, so there's at least two things on the ship that I would like to corrode. There is the gunk, and then there's the coral. And before we leave, I was just remembering something else, and it's not related to any of this, so I'm just going to walk over there. Wrong window again. Oh, opening the wrong door. So yes, I opened up a door to the Hadean Land, and it's you still cannot go there. I am going to take the long way around in order to see if we see any cool stuff with the thing. Nothing down here. Tra-la-la. Where are we going? There's a point to this. Oop, nope, cannot go to the Hadean Land, okay. We're gonna go up. This is so much better with the pre-drawn map, I have to say. I should be keeping my eyes open for silver, I guess. But I'm not. I am far too hyperactive for that. The thing I wanted to do was I wanted to remember what the croc is for. Because talking about Kickstarter backers, I'm like, oh yeah, there's this other one. And if it has some transformative effect. Okay. It allows you to submerge items in a controlled atmosphere or etheric medium. Well, I don't have any reason to do that right now, but I will try to remember that should the time come when we wish to submerge an item in a controlled atmosphere or etheric medium, we will do that. Thank you for coming by, Windrunner, and thank you for your kind comment the other day. Awesome. Yeah, let's play with the acid. Can we go to the gunk? Well, phooey. Which do you mean? Oh, I like that Vascan file are different. You dribble the muriatic acid over the cabinet, and the gunk starts to dissolve away. The smell is horrific. You can't get the cabinet entirely clean, but you manage to free up the hinges at least. That's good enough. You open the cabinet. The inside is still pretty filthy. You see a dull sheet and a glossy sheet inside. Num, 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 num. Dull sheet. To create Misuba's Lodestone, Kickstarter backer. To locate the center of the labyrinth. Oh, that's what I thought the Lodestone would help us do. How curious. My mind is racing. I'm going to start over. To create Misuba's Lodestone, to locate the center of the labyrinth. Prepare an environment of earthy influences. Place a silk thread within the bound and a labyrinth symbol upon the Gestalt shelf. Begin with the Mithraic ceiling. Pour a sample of Veridigree over the silk. And then lay a shard of elemental earth onto it, which we don't have. Strike a chime in the mode of recension. Oh dear. Now lay elemental fire, upon the labyrinth symbol, not unto the bound. Finally, the minor animus will bind the lodestone to potential motion. Um, oh, I see. This is a separate lodestone than the lodestone we have. We're going to be juggling lodestones. I see how it is. Very good. We have learned the Mithraic sealing as well as that ritual. And the glossy sheet says, Ulka's inscription to mimic the aura of another. Didn't we have this? Invoke an element of spiritual peace. I'm going to keep reading.
There was a different aura ritual, not mimicking.
Wait a minute. I'm going to look at my thing. I'm confused. So, there is one with jade and one with quartz, according to my recipe book. And neither of them are to be confused with the impermeability inscription. I'm just going to read this anyway.
Right.
Invoke an environment of spiritual peace. Rainbows and such begin with a quartz token in the bound. This represents the Ka soul. Invoke the Ka ceiling. Sprinkle copper per calcinate over the token, representing the Ba soul. Man alive. Invoke an isomorphic structure. Pour elemental water over the token. This represents the mutability of the soul's name. Close with an elementary word of binding. Touch the token to the donor, then to the recipient. Note, imitating the aura of a superior officer is malfeasance under naval law, so we will 100% be imitating the aura of a superior officer. Yeah, okay, so we have Riesenzweig's inscription to mimic the aura of another, and then Ulka's inscription to mimic the aura of another, and these recipes are entirely different. That's fascinating. I don't remember this at all. There's a lot of names here. I recognize Misuba, which is our old pal Mike Sugarbaker. Are any of these other names I'm mangling? Are they based on real people?
Yeah, I don't actually remember how to pronounce. Well, that was another Kickstarter backer, but it wasn't one that I'd run into personally. It was just some person, so I just copied it down.
These people exist.
Yes, I mean, I've met Mike Sugarbaker, and of course, I know Kevin and many of these other people. But some of my backers were strangers, which was nice.
The stranger, the better, in a game like this. That is awesome. Yeah.
Actually, like someone's going to write in next week and say, "Yeah, I'm Welka. I've known you for 20 years on the mud under a different name." I'm going to be really embarrassed.
Yeah, and I'm always actually open to having my pronunciation corrected, but I'm not going to look up howtopronounce.com or whatever in the middle of a stream. So my apologies to anybody. Anyway, I'm sure you're used to Americans completely just destroying your name, and I apologize for all of us. So here we are. So this is fascinating. I legit do not remember two completely different recipes for the same end. So that's real cool. I want to know if we can do this thing as it is. So we have the Ka ceiling now. I think we can make copper per calcinate. Let's say that we can. Isomorphic structure, elemental water. We actually do have that. Elementary word of binding. So yes, touch the token to the donor. That's the tricky part. So because we have, there are like crew members, but they are on the opposite side of these rifts, and I don't think that we have access to like their skin. I don't think we can touch them. This sounds familiar, and there's so many weird stuff you could do. It's wacky. Anyway, my point is, hooray, we've done this thing. Well, we can try making this. Why not? So copper per calcinate. This sounds familiar. I'm looking through the formulas we have. Synthesis. Veridigree. Not that. Oh, no, it's not that. Oh, I thought we had that. What if I do this? Yeah, okay. Oh, we need orichalcum. Again. Okay, so we have not quite earned the right to make this because it's another thing that requires orichalcum. And let's just type it once just to make sure. I don't know why this would have changed. Nope. Okay. Well, I can cross that off the list. We did bust open the lodestone. Excuse me, we did bust open the corroded, where was that? Tarnished cabinet. Good. Now there's a second thing I want to pour acid on. And do I still have that vial? Or is it gone? Is it all used up? Yeah, I guess it's all used up, so let's make some more. Just gonna get this right in one try. Okay, well, it's we have used our one fluorspar crystal, and we cannot do anything. So I'm going to cast myself into the void. Rather than type reset, I'm just going to walk into the void because that's funner. Also, I feel bad because on our very first session, the first time I got into this situation, I don't think I've acknowledged this yet. I said, "Oh, we need to reset," and I just typed reset. And our friend Laura Land said outside the video, it's like, I would not have thought to do that. I would have walked into the void. And I'm like, no, that's correct. Actually, that's so much cooler. So it's a good role playing opportunity to physically fling ourselves into nothingness. So we're going to do that. And now we are awake again, and I've already forgotten what it is we want. Oh yeah, try that. Neum. I'm not going to read all these. As fun as it is. Great. We have the acid. So now let's go to deep stacks zoom. And now see if we can do some coral abuse. Oh, you sprinkle some bomber uriatic acid onto the outcrop, but it doesn't affect the coral at all. Boo. I thought that would work. At least we still have it. Stupid coral. You try to dig. I kicked it, and it basically, the game was like, I don't know that word. So I just said hit coral, and the game says, you try to dig your fingers into the yellow coral. A small chunk comes away in your hand. I wasn't expecting that. Wait. Really? Huh. Okay. That is... we could do something with this. Okay, so the chunk that came off is a wrinkled chunk of yellow coral. At least it came from that outcropping that looked like coral. It's light and somewhat yielding, rather like cork. Have we seen cork before? Not that it matters. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna mess around with this. Mess around with the chunk. It tastes faintly garlicky. I'm obsessed. It smells faintly garlicky. I want to do some cooking here. I want this to turn into Breath of the Wild for some reason. The response to eat chunk is, it didn't grow on Earth. Even if it's from a guy in land, it can't be nourishing for people. But I am weirdly transformed, and I insist. No. Oh, yeah, we don't have our lens anymore. Well, the thing is, I want to go through that whole thing again with the thing because I want to see if I can use the universal thing. I don't know if that'll work. Let me see. check our recipe book here. Again, it's not tarnish, it's coral. Yeah, I don't know. Seems dumb. But we do have a chunk of this stuff, and that seems like we can use it to... what if we just keep hitting it? You see no reason to start a fight with a chunk of coral. Well, one hit did something. Okay. So what I initially thought was that we could use the rust cleaning or the tarnish cleaning on it, and like attracts like, and zap the coral with a bit of itself. But much as the tarnish is not gunk, or rather, much as the gunk is not tarnish, the coral too is not tarnish. So I don't know that that'll work. I kind of want to do it anyway because it's fun. Looking at the thing. Let's just do it for fun. I want to do it for fun. So if we get the pine cone, I want to do the tarnish cleansing that involves the actual element. I have to know. I have to know. Oh, I already used it up, huh? Oh, I guess we have to do that in order to even get out. So in order to come here, there's only the one pine cone. Very well. Yeah, meh. I don't think, because by definition, the universal tarnish cleansing won't work very well. All right. Well, whatever. We have some coral, if that's useful anywhere for any reason. Let's look at our notes again. So we've opened up the venture lock door. I can cross that off. There is the cabinet that is locked with an aethery key, but we don't have such a thing, and we don't have such a mold, do we? No, we do not. Heavy lead panel. Still don't know what that does, so let's go back to the storage nook. Actually, you know what? I want to make the Oculus again. And that is my cat rubbing her face on my microphone. So let us make that the 10-minute warning for this episode. And she somehow did not walk on the keyboard. Good kitty. I'm all confused now. Let's get the Oculus. Oh, okay, we've already picked it up. Fine. Interesting. Oh, I just thought of something. That doesn't make any sense at all. Never mind. I was thinking, in order to touch or get at someone else's aura, in order to disguise ourselves, we could touch the locked door of the birdhouse itself, because that's keyed to somebody's aura. But that is the door we're trying to open, so that seems to not be quite the right direction there. I'm obsessed with the fact that people think I should have silver. Now I'm already standing on top of it. All right. So we need orange halcum. We need silver. We have played with the molds. Well, it's done. We've done that. I can at least simplify my notes here. Okay, having done that, let's go to the storeroom. Storage. Right. So why can't we open this hatch? It's too heavy. I would like to do something to make it lighter. There's at least a couple of things that I would like to make lighter, and I do not know how to do that at all. No clear symbolic associations. Okay, let us resume our stroll then. Length of silver chain. What? Now, okay. Perhaps, you know what? There, I have everything. I guess I didn't get all in this room, and because I didn't pick it up, it didn't count as a.
No, I think I just didn't put thread as a synonym on there because it's chain. It's but it's necklace chain. It's not like horse dragging chain.
Yeah, okay, I'll buy it. It's just when I typed "go to silver" earlier, it thought I meant specifically the
Well, in
coin.
that case, there was a silver item already in the room, so it defaulted to that.
Just
it wasn't trying to give you a list of every silver object in the game because the parser doesn't really do that.
Yeah, okay, fair. Trying to game the game, as it were. I don't even remember this thing.
Is there a recall items? I bet there is.
Oh dear.
I have no idea.
What if I just type recall? Look at that.
Recall objects. I bet it would list it. Yeah. See, that's where it actually shows a list of everything in the game.
I'm not going to read all this. Oh, this is fun. This is kind of convenient, though. Since the accent you found, I'm reading it anyways. These portable items: 3 potion bottles, 4 ingots of essential oil, 4 metal rods. Okay. Well, good to know. Thank you. Oh, look, there's the charms all. Not in Bach order. Actually, they are, aren't they? With an F at the beginning. There's the molds, the seals that I have made, both the one I've found and the one I've made, and a whole lot of miscellaneous medium-sized dry goods, as we say. Okay, including all those coins. Zounds. I need to dump my cat on the floor. Whoop. Cat is dumped. Let us play for about 3 more minutes. Let's see what I can do with this silver chain. I have forgotten what I even wanted. Why did I even care about this? Did I have the word silver in my notes? Yes, I'm missing a silver thread or rod to make the lodestone. Lodestone, that is a thing. Let's see if we can make a lodestone of centrality. Is that correct? That wasn't right. You know what? Let's do this. Nope, it was the purity one. Slice a silver thread. Within the pound, apply silver ceiling. Okay, so blah. Does a chain count as a thread? Maybe. I don't know. Let's go to a bound. Where are we? Where are we even? Let's get out of here. Let's go to our Deal Optics lab, everybody's favorite. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Spark of light. It's a violet one. See, aren't you glad? Aren't I glad? I thought to make the Oculus before diving back into our... you focus on the violet spark through the Oculus. A new memory comes into focus. It concerns the pronunciation of the crystalline tempering. This formula seems to aid crystal formations in mineral substances. You consider these memories, including the crystalline tempering. I recall that we needed that, and I don't recall why. It was something. Well, glad we found that. Let's, whoops. Put, now then, recalling oops, wrong button, excuse me. Okay, make this our last move, ish. Oh, this requires 2. Well, let's just see if it's even possible. So if I put silver in bound. Okay, I don't know why that wouldn't have worked. Let's see how quickly we can do this. Okay, so we need to go to card, turn, card, again, go to silver coin, go to optics lab, south. Okay, put coin on shelf. Did I fail to actually pick up the coin? Yes, I did. I just went to it, said, that's a coin, and ran away. That's our Ensign Forsyth for you. And I need a vial of something or other. Let's get the peppermint. It's nice. What else do we need on our shopping list here? We have, so we have 2 lunar symbols. We have a contaminating aroma. We have the silver thread. We have sealing. We have essential nature. Do we have a minor animus? Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Where are we? Chain is in the bound. Shelf is on the thing. Actually going to bring this recipe up in a separate window. Okay, pop open that smell. Make sure everything is nice and stinky. Good. Okay, art glowing silver, because we're super duper moony. Speak essential. You intone the word of essential nature. The metallic nature of the silver chain rises to the surface. Remove the smell. So let's close the input. The aroma is gone. And we now invoke the minor animus, which I don't think we've done before. You voice the minor animus, trying not to cough. As the clicks and pops roll on, the chain begins to vibrate and then writhe back and forth across the bound. When you reach the final sound, the bound flares and fades. You see that the end of the chain has tied itself into a tiny silver knot. It worked. And everybody who said, I think you actually do have access to silver was correct. The lodestone of purity. Here it is.
I did entirely forget what the thread chain distinction
is. A length of silver chain with a tiny knot at one end. When swinging, it will be attracted to the presence of pure elemental substances. And we're going to leave that to next time because we've been playing for 2 hours, and that is good. This, I guess my final comment is this reminds me of Spellbreaker from the Jereg novels. I can't remember the author's name right now. The dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was probably in there too. Somewhere in the back of my head.
Neat. Okay. So we have yet another. So this was a session of lots of crafting of tools and toys. And we finished with an element finder. So we're going to do some geocaching next time. I do believe. I'm going to call it. So thanks for joining us, everybody in the chat. And thanks for joining us for 2 more hours with your own games, Arf. Any last words before signing off?
If I could only remember what it was that the guy said at the end. No, I have no more words.
Okay, well, there'll be time enough for words.
Weasel, cough drop, peep.
Okay. Write them down, kiddies, for next time. Yep, thanks, everybody, and see you next Sunday or whenever. Thanks, bye.
Well, next Sunday is Mystery Hunt, right?
Oh, no. Well, maybe I'll skip next Sunday. Yes, it is. It is the MIT Mystery Hunt. Speaking of Boston IF
I'll
group.
be busy.
Well, I might do something. I want to play more IF games, and I want to do some like non-parsery stuff on this channel. I'm having quite a lot of fun doing game streaming, and there's more stuff to play. So, thanks everybody, and subscribe if you want to see more, or just subscribe to me on Twitter, jmac.org, and I yell about this stuff all the time. And see you around. Bye bye.